The NFL announces a new national anthem policy that fines teams if players kneel during the anthem. The league says protests created a false perception among many that thousands of NFL players were unpatriotic. The NFL announced Wednesday that all players who are on the field when the national anthem is heard before a game must stand, or they can choose to remain in the locker room without penalty. The league's teams have all agreed to the new policy, and they will be subject to a fine if a player disobeys. How about you just not bring them out for the anthem the way you used to do prior to 2000 and I believe 2009? They used to not be out there. Then what happened was the military wanted more people. So they got in cahoots with the NFL and they said, hey, we already have like a pretty, pro-war bent here, but let's really bring it to the max. And let's really have mega support the troops. Here's a vet. And let's have the players there for the national anthem. That's something recent. They used to not go out for the national anthem. It just used to be something that didn't happen because it was done beforehand to pay respects, and then the event began, and the players took the field. That was the sequence of order of events, and it made sense that way. First of all, I personally, I don't know why any kind of national anthem at a sporting event is necessary at all. In my opinion, it shouldn't be a thing. I don't know why you can't just have a sporting event. You don't do the national anthem before a concert or before a comedy show. Why does it need to be before a sporting event? Furthermore, why should we really be proud of a national anthem where we had to omit some of the verses because of how brutal they were? But anyway, that could be a whole other long conversation. Why don't they just not? I mean, first of all, this is a blatant violation of the First Amendment rights of all of the NFL players. They've already demonized Colin Kaepernick enough by exiling him from the league. They exiled the guy, which is disgusting. I don't like the NFL the way. I really enjoy the game of football. I think it's a very fun game. It's very fun to watch. I never really played it other than, pickup games. But it's a game that I really have a lot of love for. And the NFL grosses me out on so many levels. The excessive patriotism and nationalism and pro-war bent is a big part of it, yeah. The other big part of it is they're gutting the game. They are literally making it a lawyer's game. It's not even fun to watch anymore. Have you ever seen... If you are at a bar and you're watching a football game... And, okay, if you're watching the fans, right? Like a football game's on the TV. You're watching the fans. When their team scores, people go like this. They go... You see what I did? Like they celebrate and then they pull it back. They're like... You know why they do that? Because we don't even know what a catch is anymore in the NFL. So people don't know whether they should celebrate or not. They wait for the reviews and the discussions. But it's just not fun anymore. It is truly a lawyer's game. They have flat out taken touchdowns away from teams. And they totally... And I'm sorry, they screwed Jacksonville over big time this year. And everybody saw it coming. When the NFL numbers, comparatively speaking, now the NFL still makes money hand over fist, but comparatively speaking, last year was a little lower than usual. It was a little lower than usual. So when people knew that, I thought right away, I was like, there's no way the Patriots aren't going to the Super Bowl. Why did I feel that way? Because when you have a season when ratings are a little lower, there's no way they weren't going to have a franchise team, one of the big behemoth teams in the Super Bowl. There was just no freaking way. So when the Steelers went out, I said the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. There's no way. And hey, I'm from Pittsburgh, so the Steelers are my team. That's the team I grew up with. But I'm just being honest and objective here. If the Steelers would have played the Patriots, I hope it would have been just a fair game, although the Steelers got screwed over in the regular season. But I'm hoping it just would have been a fair game because either one of those two teams they would have been fine with. You either have one franchise team or another, Patriots or Steelers. But there's no way they were going to let Jacksonville in. It just wasn't going to happen. They were not going to let Jacksonville in. I mean, I think at this point the NFL is not really much different from professional wrestling. I really don't. What makes the patriotism even worse, Balthazar says, thank you for the Super Chat contribution, by the way, Balthazar. What makes the patriotism even worse is that it's paid patriotism. The military literally has to pay the NFL in order to get vets on the field. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's how they kind of got in cahoots. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would go as far as to say it's completely 100% rigged, but there's thumbs on the scale big time. And, I mean, it's getting to the point where I wouldn't be shocked if we found out it was more, like there was more behind the scenes stuff than we realized. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And yeah, I mean, just the way the refs hijack games, I don't even enjoy the NFL more. I mean, it's just something that I used to enjoy that I just don't anymore. Like, it just ruined, And it's a conversation nobody really wants to have either. I'm like, yeah, I just don't even enjoy the NFL anymore, and people just, brush it off, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.